Hello Virgo. So let's check your messages. What basically I was almost like suggested with really twisting my arm that I really have to do this Lenormand, like a sign off messages. If you are on my newsletter, then you do know what I'm talking about. If you're not on my newsletter, I made an exception this month and the last month, because I don't send them that frequently, that I told you that I have been really getting lots of messages, and that's because I'm number 11, and this is 11 month, and I'm in my personal year number 11. Just to tell you, it's kind of like I have one subject, spirituality, and I have to do it, and it almost looks like this energy that is coming to me is like frantic, and it's just like really putting this quite a bit on me. So if you go on the community part of my channel, you're going to see the link to my latest newsletter. You can sign yourself up there on the bottom, or you can go on my website. Either on the bottom of my page you will see sign for a newsletter, or you get a pop-up at some point that asks you to do that. Okay, so Virgo, let's see what kind of messages I have for you. So far, so good. This is, by the way, called Grand Tableau. And this is Lenormand. It's a little bit different from Tarot. Tarot has more layers than Lenormand, but Lenormand almost like gives you left and right. Hard to explain. Almost like in shamanism, you have upper world, you have lower world, right? So sometimes you need to kind of like talk to your teacher. Sometimes you just need to kind of get animalistic and meet your basically power animal. But there is like also middle world where basically you can resolve lots of things, but it's also extremely dangerous, where a whole bunch of like spirits can attach to you. So that's pretty much where Lenormand is. We are right now dealing in this middle world, and if you want to see how spirits come, you can go to Pisces reading, and in the corner here and here I had this like two big, I guess, bubbles, and you can see that each bubble had contained like pictures and messages in the middle. So as you can see, I don't really see things clear as a picture. I have to make sense out of it. But it was kind of like weird. I saw it. I said, oh my goodness, I'm seeing it. It was just like for a minute or so in the beginning of the reading. And guys, Lenormand is going to be part of my annuals, which I'm working on. So if you haven't signed up for it, please do, because this is still pre-order price and still half the price. I think it's $19.95. You have this down in the description for one sign. So it's not 50%. Like I think it's 35% off, because it's going to go to $29.95. But if you get all 12 signs, then the price is really very sweet, because now you get it for $45, and it's going to be, I think, $60. So there you go. We have two significators in Lenormand. Yeah, and this Lenormand is going to be part of the annual readings. So to find out how you're starting the new year, this is basically where we're signing off today, and you can restart it like next year. So let's see what we see. What we have the gentleman, which is one significator, and then we have a lady. So this is very significant over here, because I don't know which one is you. It could be both of them, it could be one of them, because after all, this is about you. As I said, we are in the middle world, and I'm kind of like seeing a whole bunch of things that are coming your way and around. Some of you are feeling that the love is gone. I know I'm starting there. Like some of you are really feeling more focused onto your, let's say, financial future, onto your not so much survival. I don't really feel that there is like kind of like that level of urgency happening, but I do feel that, you know, you maybe have, it's really interesting, the child is in a house of a child, so that means it's really feeling good in that place, that is really kind of like working well. But it's right next to this fox, so it's kind of like, and the bear, and the bear is like this mama bear, right? So we have the mice on one side, we have the fox. So that, you being an earth sign, you're protecting yourself from the outside influences of some sort. Maybe like this heart combined with a coffin simply means, heck, you know, love is just too much freaking trouble for me. I kind of like really need to get kind of like rid of something, or especially if something is like in a phase where it seems to be kind of like a little bit foggy or secretive, or you really never know what to expect from the situation. You're kind of like making extremely pragmatic decision in this particular case, right? Because confusion no more, kind of like Virgo, right? So if you have experienced troubles with someone and looks like there have been someone, most people don't know you're like very sexy, but they should know because your earth sign, could be somebody here who kind of insisted on open-ended relationship, let's put it that way, and at times there were kind of like a lure of some sort, but maybe this person is linked to somebody, either through marriage or through some kind of commitment, because look at this, legal with something and moving in with something karmic. They're dealing with some kind of karmic debris themselves. Also, I do not think they're feeling very well right now. I think they might be going through some kind of like depressive state of some sort, and kind of like trying to really figure out where to quote unquote park during the winter, what to do. And I call people like that Klingons, not the ones from Star Wars and Star Trek. Rather, you know, the ones who just kind of like take you for a ride without really taking you for a ride. It's just like they don't know what they want. There is like a person without a plan. And you are in the freaking driver's seat. You are saying, no, you know, sorry, Klingons are not allowed on this trip, kind of a thing. Choo-choo, we are going. Because it's interestingly like right next to this gentleman, like the ship, really talks about this person has these big dreams. I'm going to do this, and we're going to travel there, right? And like this is where you're meeting in this card, the ship. But all of these promises are hitting this freaking mountain. You're just like, phew, where do you think you're going? Like you're not going to kind of like really climb that mountain with that ship. So it's kind of like almost like you're dealing with an airhead, but also somebody who is very, very seductive. And I see it here. You are moving on. You're just moving on. Like, I mean, almost looks like you felt, okay, you know, you spent enough time to see if certain things worked out. And now when you do feel it, that, you know, I don't know what to make out of it, you're like into self-protection mode. You're tired of setbacks, you're tired of ambiguity, you are tired of, you know, like this person not committing to a relationship, right? Talking a big talk, but you kind of like have a feeling that there is something behind that, and you were trying to get to the bottom of that. After all, you're like analytical Virgo. But, you know, you're getting into this, I really do not care. That's why the child, to me, is telling me, like, it's a new beginning. Maybe you have tried certain things a few times, and a few times things really didn't really work out, but now you're really feeling, okay, you know, let me kind of like move forward. Let's kind of like move on into something that you really want, right? So, interesting position of the lilies, because this is also in their own house, right? So something new, but I think there is something new with someone whom you know, and that's really interesting. So is this person, or this is a new person? That will be really interesting thing to do. So this can be a few scenarios that you have been dealing with someone who was not in a committal mode, and I think if this person comes into your life now, it's going to be like talking big story, but within a month in December. By December, you're already going to kind of like end up with, hey, same old. Like, I mean, I heard that story before, you know, like if I have a cent for each time I heard the story, I would be rich, kind of a thing. And you're going to rate this person really, really low. On the other hand, if we kind of like think that there's like somebody new coming forward, there's like some kind of like residue. And I think really clearly that I don't know, like if you've necessarily wanted to fight for somebody to, let's say, be monogamous, more or less you were fighting for this whole sense of your own peace, of your own inner mind. And this foxy over here, which is in the house of crossroads, which is the second card that showed up over here. So they said it was really good. You got the house, the crossroads, and the bouquet, right? So like move on, think from something that felt comfortable, but now it kind of like it feels like you outgrow a certain situation, right? So the foxy could mean good or bad news. Are you the fox? Or somebody's trying to, like, you know, take advantage of you, right? Fox, you know, can definitely talk about some kind of like shifty character over here, but it also can talk about somebody at your workplace, somebody who's creating problems, or somebody who is in a way for some kind of like reason, or, you know, somebody who, I guess, you might even have disloyal friends, because after all you have this as well. So I don't know, maybe to simply suggest that you have maintained friendship with someone who may have been an option in the past, and that's why you have the key in the House of the Ring, but somebody really needed to move. There was like something needing in that particular situation. Also, there was not complete clarity that you had that really needs to take place. So the mountain is in a sense a good thing, because this person is all relying upon charm and upon, like, I mean, the bottom part of the body, like especially the area around the waist, and you know what I'm talking about, wink wink. And sexual or not, for you, you are really saying to yourself, well, you know what, it better be right. Because the kite over here that is in the house of the coffin, you are actually tired of anything that is dead in your life. And there is like this lovely motion forward in a very healthy way, because look how well this is bouncing here, right? So this is going forward. You're starting this new start. Almost like that you will have layers and layers. You will be making lots of decisions in November, decisions in December, and then look at this. This is lovely. Actually, this kite really works well in this particular house, and it's pretty much that house and this house where it can work well. You might hit few roadblocks. I'm not going to kid you, and it's going to be around Christmas time. But keep going, keep communicating. If you have, and this really could actually connect to something at work, especially if you have nagging coworkers, and if you do, then you have been already dealing with some issue with that for the past couple of months, and it was something about money, it was something about promotion. Maybe you actually don't even know about that. Maybe somebody was telling your boss something that you are going to find out. So be prepared for this. So my dear Virgos, here we are. I hope this helps. As I said, this is a part of my annual Taroscopes, so please order it. Like, information is down in description box. Or you can get annual reading with me. Pardon me. Yeah, you can, only if you're a client, because I just do them in January. But really this is exhausting for me to do private, so hence only my previous clients would qualify. I mean, you can contact me, we can talk about it, but as I said, I really have to be specific on that one. And lastly, yeah, check this newsletter. It was really interesting. It was something that we are still under influence about this full moon that took place yesterday, and it's going to be lots of shifting that's going to take place over the next few weeks. And then we are moving to the next stage on December 5th. But enough about that. We are going to cover that in your December monthlies. So my dear Virgos, I love you. Put yourself first. Remove Klingons. And sex is good, but just don't let it kind of like drain you. And you really need to take care of yourself at this stage. Love you guys. All the best.